So folks, time to get things underway with the drivers here in Indy Pro 2000. Drivers, start your engines. 250 horsepower, inline four-cylinder. Every one of these engines built by the 1998 Indianapolis 500 Rookie of the Year, Steve Knapp. He and his son Logan, and Elite Engines, the Knapp engine building program for decades, primary partner and part of the Road to Indy family. They build all our engines for Indy Pro 2000 and USF 2000, and these things crank out horsepower. More downforce, more braking, more grip, more horsepower, more of everything from USF 2000. And we're ready to do it again. 90 laps. Reese Gold, definitely, folks, with unfinished business. Led from pole. If it weren't for some lap traffic that he didn't quite approach correctly, allowed Christian Rasmussen to dive in on him to take the spot, he would have been a race winner last year. I think he's going to be tough to beat here today. This kid has grown up here on the road to Indy. A couple years in USF 2000. He was only 14 when he first started. Kid is ready to go here now. All right, field will pair up 2x2. Pace car dropping the throttle, getting down into the pit lane. Gold and Ahmed on row 1. Foster, Siegel, row 2. These drivers just 2 steps away from the NTT IndyCar Series and the Indy 500. Oval 1 for them. They'll be back at Gateway later this year. Out of turn 4. Gold, green, green, green. Reese Gold and Anam Ahmed cleanly through 1 and 2. How about 3 wide coming out of turn number 2 as Colin Kaminsky going to the bottom of the racetrack. What does he think? Josh Green sends it in the top. Around the outside goes Jordan Missig as well. Good opening lap for Missig as all the way to the bottom is Kaminsky. He almost got pinched down there. Missig onto the top side of the racetrack. He's going to see if he can't go around the outside of Josh Green. That's actually the number 8 in Olin Siegel on the bottom. He gets a pretty decent run coming out of the corner. Kaminsky still down on the bottom. Now it's Jack William Miller trying to go around the outside. Kaminsky tried to get a good jump, see if he could get on top of somebody. Couldn't quite get it done. There's Foster having to deal with Josh Green right now. Louis Foster in the Copart exclusive Autosport number 90. The British driver out of Basingstoke, United Kingdom. First couple of laps going in the books cleanly. Everybody's settling in right now to find out what kind of a race car they have early on. Foster quickest in practice earlier today. Let's see what Reese Gold can do out front. Foster going to the bottom. He's already thinking about Anam Ahmed. That little bit lower to get some air on the wing. Here comes Foster to the bottom of the racetrack. Have a look at this. Battle for second. Foster posted up a little bit. Car just kind of loses that mid-corner grip, but he pedals it back down. He does not want to see Reese Gold pull away here. Send a shout out to Steve Wittick from TSOladder.com and Trackside Online back home watching here on Road to Indy TV, dropping some nuggets for me. I mentioned Steve Knapp, the engine builder here, the 1998 Indy 500 Rookie of the Year, also a winner here in USF 2000 himself a number of years ago. Steve dropping me the unofficial points as well that we got that showed Michael D. Orlando having a pretty nice little sizable gap. There's second place running Anam Ahmed. Third is Louis Foster. Here's your running order here on lap number 6. Reese Gold leads. Anam Ahmed runs in second. Third is Louis Foster. Fourth, Josh Green. Fifth, Nolan Siegel. Sixth is Jordan Missig. Seventh, Yuban Sundaramurthy. Eighth, Jack William Miller, but he's getting pressured, as you can see there, by Colin Kaminsky. Kaminsky goes high, coming mid-corner, stacking up Salvador de Alba in 10th, Kiko Porto 11th, Braden Eves 12th, Wyatt Prokachik 13th, Jonathan Brown 14th, and Charles Finelli 15th. Eves and Brkacik going at it there. There's your leader. Reese Gold out of Miami, Florida. This is Kaminsky and De Alba. Salvador De Alba, his first year in the open wheel cars here on the road to Indy. This guy's got a ton of experience running the NASCAR Mexican Series, road course NASCAR programs with Jourdain Andretti Motorsports. So this guy's got a lot of experience on the road courses, but in big, heavy stock cars. Really getting a good feel for these Indy Pro 2000s. Was able to finish second and eventually get the victory at Indianapolis just a couple of weeks ago. That bottom side's tough. Kaminsky's trying to hold on. They are going to go side by side right now. De Alba on the bottom. That's tougher on the tires to run the bottom. We've seen this in years past. If you're down to the bottom, you're committed to try to making that pass and can't get it done, you're burning them tires up. De Alba's got Pico Porto right there as well. He's tucking back in. There goes Porto now to the bottom. Porto trying to take advantage of De Alba checking up. And the Road to Indy Scholarship car, last year's USF 2000 winner. He'll go on the offensive now. That's the fight for 10th. 1.2 seconds to lead for Reese Gold up the road. That's Braden Eves as well in the number 4 right behind Kiko Porto. So Kaminsky, De Alba, Porto, and Eves, 9th back to 12th, almost nose to tail. Eves trying to look to the bottom of the track here now. You'll see the drivers run a half a car width lower. Instead of being right on the gearbox, you want to run a half a car width lower. You got to get that left wing and the end fence out into clean air. You got to have that fresh air, that clean air rushing over that front wing to get that front ring to plant. Otherwise, it's useless. You get in that corner without the air on the front wing, no downforce at all. The car goes out of aero balance. It just wants to skate up the racetrack. You're putting a lot more wheel. It starts to get that oversteer, or the understeer rather, to push up the racetrack. That is absolutely killer here at Lucas Oil Raceway. You lose all your momentum. So you got to keep that car just a little bit in, a half a car width lower. You'll see the drivers do that all night. USAC midget cars will be up next. Looking forward to what should be a tremendous midget race, and of course, the capper of the evening, the USAC Silver Crown cars running for 10 grand. These drivers, not 10 grand tonight, but how about over $650,000 at the end of the season? The champion here in Indy Pro 2000, winning the scholarship to move to Indy Lights in 2023. Last year's champion Christian Rasmussen running really strongly right now for Andretti Autosport. This is the driver who wants to get it done. In fact, all of them do, but Reese Gold would like to see himself jump up the order. He was 11 points back coming in. A win here, though. Points and a half. 45 points on offer for the race winner. Normally, it's 30 points to win. Reese Gold already with a bonus point for qualifying on pole. He gets past lap number 45, 46. That's bonus point for most laps led. Could be a big day for Reese Gold. He's out now by 1.6 seconds. You know how the storyline plays out, though. We can talk all we want until they come to lap traffic. Then things starts to change. Really tough to get the job done in lap traffic. Anam Ahmed has Louis Foster chasing him as well. Last time by, Foster's a little bit quicker than Anam Ahmed, about a 10th. That's Ahmed in the number 47. His first weekend here, first experience at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Started the season last year, ran the first 3 events. St. Petersburg, Barber, and the road course at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but the budget ran out. The team actually stopped running that he was with. RP Motorsports stopped after Indianapolis. This is his first time here, and I think it shows not only how great of a driver Anam is and his talent, but also the car that's been developed by Juncos Hollinger Racing. They have done a tremendous job on this particular platform. We know how good Reese was last year. They're both super strong. They're the best 2 cars in the field right now. Maybe throw Louis Foster in there as well, because again, he topped practice earlier today and has really kind of picked it up himself. But the Juncos Hollinger cars are dynamite right now. Anam, Again, as I had said in the intro, this guy has a really impressive list of championships. And I'll throw this one at you. You're a Formula One fan. Hopefully, if you love IndyCar, you're here for USAC, whatever it may be. You can watch a bit of Formula One. He was the World Karting Champion the same year as Lando Norris. Lando Norris, I believe, won the senior championship that year. Pretty sure that Lando won the junior championship the same year as Lando Norris. And then Anam as well, British Formula 3 champion a couple of years ago. This guy can get the job done in a race car. We're thrilled to have him here with us. He loves racing here in the U.S. Just a tremendous young man. He's one you want to meet in the paddock for sure. Just a great character, polite, kind, just a model of a young man, and we're thrilled to have him with us, as I say, running for Juncos Hollinger. This is a guy I'd love to see find his way up into the NTT IndyCar Series. He's that kind of calm guy outside the racetrack, or at the race car, but when he gets into the cockpit, you just know how focused he is. He'll show the aggression when he needs it, I guarantee it. Charles Finelli, I believe, was already parked the number 83 machine. He's into pit lane already. He showed really good lap times in practice earlier today. It was only about a 10th off some of the drivers further back in the field. I think electing to park it here early. Look at this scrap right now. Okay, let's pick this up here and follow this for a bit. This is Yuvan Sundaramurthy, Jack William Miller. Whoa, the number 6 of Salvador Alba rolling up. Colin Kaminsky's going to go to the bottom. Kiko Porto's in there. This is 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. This is a great battle to follow right now. This is a good fight. Miller up into 7th. He's able to get the pass done on Sundaramurthy. Colin Kaminsky's been committed to that bottom line quite a bit, has he not, throughout the day, or throughout the evening. Back down to the bottom on Salvador de Alba. Just a couple of laps ago, they were the other way around. We got a battle up here, though, for second position, as Louis Foster trying to get by as well. Louis Foster to the bottom side of the racetrack. He's going after Anam Ahmed. Colin Kaminsky trying to get this job done on Salvador de Alba. Well, what a scrap. Oh, Foster's actually backed up a little bit. They are starting to come through lap traffic. This is where it's going to start getting really interesting. Kaminsky to the bottom on de Alba, alongside his teammate now, Sundaramurthy. Yuvan may have a bit of an issue. He's backing up a bit here. He's lost a couple of spots. Yuvan to the top side, and both de Alba and Kiko Porto have got by, so you wonder if there's an issue here for Yuvan Sundaramurthy. They're leaving him in their dust. I expect he'll go to the bottom of the racetrack soon. No, he's still up top. Reese Gold now, just behind these guys coming through. Gold trying to come through the drivers in, 5th, 6th, or rather 13th, 14th, 15th. Yeah, Gold able to get by Wyatt Prokachek. That's 13th. Gold to the bottom now of Sundaramurthy. That'll be for 12th. Here's side by side with Jonathan Brown on the top side, the Irishman for turn 3, and Anam Ahmed down to the bottom. Josh Green closing up behind Louis Foster as well. Foster trying to get a feel for it. He'll go to the bottom. He's going to get by Jonathan Brown. And I said this in USF 2000. Once the leader goes through, it a little bit easier for everybody. They're all lapped down now. They know it. They'll give it up a little more. Sundaramurthy falling down, as I said. Some kind of an issue for Yuvan, I think. He was up in probably 7th. Foster not able to get the job done on Sundaramurthy. He loses a little bit of ground. You can see the gap now between 2nd and 3rd. That's Anam Ahmed, left side of your screen in the 47 on the Juncos Hollinger racing machine. Right behind him, the Copart exclusive Autosport Pattis IP22 for Louis Foster. Anam doing a pretty good job getting through lap traffic. And in fact, only about a second behind his teammate Reese Gold. Everybody fighting that lap traffic right now. Gold closing up to 3 different drivers now. 4 different drivers. Porto, de Alba, Kaminsky, and Miller. Foster ready to challenge. He's trying to make that move to the inside of Braden Eves. So Braden Eves getting lapped as well. Gold, Ahmed, and now Foster will go to the bottom. Eves running in 11th. Now this is Reese Gold, I believe. Yeah, he's got by Kiko Porto. Porto's going to run the top side again. Better run out of turn number 2. Gold on the bottom. Kiko not giving up. Do not go gentle into that good night. Kiko fighting on the top side. But Porto giving it up as Reese then comes across the bow, getting the call from the spotter clear. Clear high, rolls back up to the top. Fight now, I believe, a little further back in the pack, watching that one between, let's see, just trying to pick this one up here on screen. That's a side-by-side fight. The 8 of Siegel, as he's trying to go. He's trying to go around Jonathan Brown. That's another lap car. So, hey, this is the leader up front. That's Reese Gold. There's the teammate, Anam Ahmed. He's going to try to get by Kiko Porto. They're closing. 38 laps down, so a long way to go. Almost 51 laps to go still. Gold's having some trouble getting by the 6 of Salvador de Alba. This is what makes these races so exciting in terms of how the drivers are able to work their way through lap traffic. Yeah, it's only 4 corners, but it is such a razor's edge that they dance throughout the evening. Car feels great up top. I'll run around the top all day long, but when you have to put that car back down to that bottom where you tighten up the radius of the corner, you're asking so much more from everything. Ahmed closes. Can he make short work of De Alba to potentially close up on Reese Gold here? Gold goes to the bottom now of Jack William Miller. That will be for 8th. Gold trying to lap up to P8. Both Junco's cars in the screen. How far back is Louis Foster as well? Man, they are essentially passing these lap cars. Synced right up. Open racetrack for Gold a little bit. There goes Ahmed in the 47. Foster about a half a second back. He's now working his way through as well. Ahmed, though, he wants that first win. Reese Gold already with the victory on the season. Oh, mid-corner wiggle there. Correction for Ahmed coming out of turn number 2. You see that a lot here. 2 and 4. They're just asking so much of the front tires. When it starts to break loose, they've got to make that correction. Those Cooper tires at full adhesion. They're rolling back on that throttle. They want to get back to full throttle. And the car just not quite wanting to transition. All right, here comes. There's the payoff. A little bit of a run by Louis Foster back down to the bottom. That issue for Anam Ahmed has let Foster go to the bottom. Does he get the job done? He's side by side coming across start finish to the inside. Book it. He'll roll back to the top of the racetrack. Louis Foster goes to second. Foster taking full advantage of the minor miscue. And look at Foster rolling up here now. Does he have a better long run car? Halfway point of the race. 45 laps down, 45 to go. Foster to the bottom. Louis Foster going to the lead. He's going to set the pick up top as well. They're almost side by side. Can't quite get it done. Oh, Foster was so close. He'll get a good run down the back straightaway. They've got a slower car, and I believe Colin Kaminsky up front. He's just got to hold the bottom here, and he's going to get this job done. Foster on the bottom again. Fight for the lead in Indy Pro 2000. Foster winning the last race. Most recent victor. And he's down to the bottom. First ever time on an oval for Louis Foster and the Brit. Trying to bring home a victory for Exclusive Autosport. He's down the bottom. Again, it's that car at Kaminsky that's going to be the deciding factor. If he's able to keep him up, he's going to be able to get down to the bottom. He's just trying to keep Reese Gold pinched up top. A classic pick move coming up here for Foster. He knows it. He's just got to keep Gold up top. And once he goes to the bottom, it's going to be done. He's got it. He's gone to the lead. Louis Foster to P1. What a drive for Foster in the Copart Exclusive Autosport number 90. He's checked out. You know his spotter's telling him now, dude, you've got lots of room. We're good. Take care of the Coopers. Wow. That may be the best 10-lap mid-race run I've seen. But now he's got to take it to the end. Did he burn up the tires? That's the thing. Did he push too hard? He wasn't down to the bottom side that much. It really wasn't like a 15, 20 lap side-by-side battle. Maybe 5 laps, 6 laps. And he has gone P1 and 1.4 out. He's checked out. Louis Foster working with one of the highly rated engineers in the Road to Indy paddock, and maybe the motorsports paddock on the whole, John Hayes. John has worked with a number of different organizations that I know of myself. PR1, JDC, Newman Walks, and with Exclusive Autosport for the last couple of years. This squad, Exclusive Autosport, winning the team championship last year with Artem Petrov and Braden Eves. Single car effort for a couple races this year. Barber Motorsports Park, they started a technical alliance helping out Miller Vinatieri Motorsport. Yellow flag flying. We've got a yellow. Yellow flag is out. Unsure why at this point, but the yellow flag flying as Louis Foster will slow it up with a massive lead. Colin Kaminsky coming into pit lane. Not sure what's going on here in terms of what's going on. We'll try to see if I can't get understanding here. Being told potentially a driver brushed the wall, and I would have to believe it would have been Colin Kaminsky as he brings that Pabst Racing entry in. Wow, what a couple of laps and what a drive there, folks. If you're in the grandstands here and eyeing that number 90 of Louis Foster, what a performance he put on there from about lap 44 through to now lap 54, a 10-lap run where he was able to get by both Hunko's Hollinger racing cars, Reese Gold and Anam Ahmed. Josh Green taking advantage as well. He's moved his way into third. So let's give you a full field rundown while we can here now while the cars are slow. Louis Foster with the lead in the number 90. Reese Gold runs second in the 55. Josh Green third in the number 3. Anam Ahmed fourth in the 47. Then it's Nolan Siegel in the 8 and Jordan Missig in the 19, Missig up to 6th now. Kiko Porto in the 1 runs 7th. Salvador de Alba and Jack William Miller in the 6th and 8th, the 40 and 9th. Braden Eves in the 4 rounds out the top 10. Jonathan Brown in the 2 and 11th. Colin Kaminsky into pit lane. An issue, as we said, for Yuvan Sundaramurthy potentially. He's into pit lane as well in that number 18 car. Wyatt Prokopchik runs 14th, and Charles Finelli was out of the race after 11 laps. So our first yellow flag in, I want to say, let's count it up, 236 laps. We went green to checker in the last 2 years of the 290 lappers. So I could say probably 235 laps of green flag racing. A driver touches the wall, that's it. We're going right back at it. 34 laps remaining, right? 34? Yeah, 34 laps to go in a 90 lapper. And he'll punch off Louis Foster out of turn number 4. We're back to green flag racing. Josh Green immediately going to work to the bottom of Reese Gold. Green, as we know, was closing up on Louis Foster. He'll go back to the bottom. This is absolutely perfect for Foster out front. Green fighting with Gold will allow him to stretch away. Just what he needs. Josh Green, though, wants to get himself back in this championship fight. He's down in 8th position. A second place run here would be big for him to bring him back up into potentially the top 5. Foster gets a lead of about 0.6 of a second out of the gates. We'll go 30 laps to go. Next time by. Into the final third of this race for Indy Pro 2000. Louis Foster rocking and rolling to the top side. Average speed last lap 117.8 miles per hour. These guys are booking it around this racetrack. Yeah, you think about this, what happened, just a couple of years ago, this was Pato Award going at it. Connor Daly, Renus VK. That's where these guys were plying the trade. learning the racecraft. Foster's lead now almost a full second. The exclusive Autosport Tatis IP22 dialed in. Great second half pace. I always find it so intriguing how some drivers pick up this discipline so quickly. I talked to Kyle Kirkwood. We had an oval clinic on Thursday morning with Kyle Kirkwood, Christian Rasmussen, Parker Thompson as our expert panelists. 4 wins among those 4 drivers, or 3 drivers rather. And Kyle talked about the fact that before he came here, he said, yeah, it's just driving in circles. It's a bunch of left turns, until he dove into it, until he found out the really serious intricacies of what it takes to be fast on an oval. Just such, the fact that during a test session, practice session, you're out for 2 laps, you're back in, adjust. Couple laps back in, make a change, work on the balance. It's such fantastic discipline where a driver can really, with his input, make such huge changes. Found out that after that first race, he fell in love with it. Absolutely loves running ovals, and I hear that from a lot of drivers on the road to Indy. I didn't think I'd like it. I don't know. I was kind of scared. Get that first race in the books, and they absolutely love it. And again, look at USF 2000. We've had 3 straight green to checker races. Everybody always worried about, always big wrecks in USF 2000. If you could wreck a car. Last 3 years in a row, we've gone green to checker in all our main events. We don't wreck cars. That's one of the beauties of this road to Indy. We have talented drivers who respect each other, and respect the track, and respect the equipment. That's what's so great about the program and what differentiates us from other racing series that a young driver can select. Good fight there. That's Jack William Miller and Braden Eves Dyson, I believe, or is that Miller to the top side? That's actually him trying to get, I believe, fighting here with Jordan Missig. And that's Missig on the bottom, Jack William Miller on the top. Missig actually is a lead lap driver. That's the key right now. We only have 6 drivers in the lead lap. Let's bring that in. I haven't really brought that up yet. With that yellow flag, we kind of reset the deck. Only 6 drivers on the lead lap right now. Louis Foster, Reese Gold, Josh Green, Anam Ahmed, Nolan Siegel, and Jordan Missig. And let me give some props to Jordan Missig here right now. The best of the Pabst Racing crew here, and Missig has never been on an oval before. Colin Kaminsky's been on the pole here before. Sunir Murthy has got lots of experience here at this particular racetrack. Kudos to Jordan Missig. What a great drive, a mature run. He's able to get by Jack William Miller, and I'm telling you, this is big for Jordan Missig. Driver from Channahon, Illinois. AMV Ventures, Racing for Mental Health, the sponsors on the race car for Pabst Racing. And Jordan Missig looking great here right now. This is Jonathan Brown on the bottom side of the racetrack. Top one of the J. Howard Driver Development cars. Can't quite pick out the number on the side of that car quite yet. I think that's Braden Eves. That'll be the fight for 10th. Brown goes to the inside. He'll take that spot. That's a race for position. They're a lap down, but Jonathan Brown has gone into 10th to move both turn 3 motorsport cars into the top 10 as Josh Green now running 4th. Anam Ahmed able to get back around Josh Green, so Ahmed, who had lost the spot, gains it back. 19 laps remaining. Foster's lead 3 seconds. Ahmed going to the inside here. He's side by side. That's a great battle right now. That's the fight, I think, for 3rd and 4th coming down the back straightaway. This is it right here. Look at this fight. That's Josh Green 3rd, Anam Ahmed 4th. This is probably the best battle on the racetrack right now. And rolling in behind him is Nolan Siegel, your point leader. Louis Foster would take a massive point lead if he gets this race win with Siegel back in 5th. Ahmed took the position back away. He's got to dial things back in here. Look at this. Looks like Josh Green shot out of a cannon having to get that pass done. But what it really is that when you get past and if you make a mistake and you have to get out of the throttle, you're not just going to lose a spot. You're going to lose a lot of track position. If you're in 2 and you have a bit of a moment where you've got to get out of it and then roll back in, you lose so much of that momentum down the back straightaway. It almost takes a full lap. to spool the car back up again. That terminal velocity that you're trying to roll around this racetrack. As I said, top speeds, 118, 117 mile per hour. They're dropping down a little bit now, of course, as drivers working through lap traffic. Oh, there you go. A bit of a moment there for Nolan Siegel. It closed right up on the gearbox, lost the air off the front wing. Immediate understeer. Car wants to push up to the wall. And it's the job of the drivers to save it. And save it in an instant. You don't even know when it's happening. All of a sudden, car starts to skate up. You put wheel in it, maybe get out of it a little bit. And see how that's gapped again. Same kind of gap we saw that Anam Ahmed lost to Josh Green. Very similar to what we just saw Nolan Siegel getting out of it, losing a lot of ground there as well. There's Ahmed coming down the front straightaway, running P4, pardon me, right now, ahead of Nolan Siegel. There's Siegel right behind him. 13 laps remaining. 13 to go in this Freedom 90. And there's the two Jay Howard driver development cars fighting it out, nose to tail. They'll go side by side down into turn number 1. $12 laps remaining for Louis Foster. I don't think we've got really any good battles on the racetrack right now. So let's pick up the leader. Because we've only got, as I said, 12 laps, making 11 laps to go for Louis Foster in that number 90. You never know how a rookie driver is going to perform when you take him to a racetrack like this one here. And maybe we would have a little bit of an indication. Because going to St. Petersburg at the start of the year, that very challenging concrete canyon street track, Louis Foster had never run a temporary street circuit before. And he immediately took to it and loved it and was on the podium both races of the doubleheader. Didn't have a feel for Barber Motorsports Park until the very kind of end of the weekend. Talked about the fact with me that he struggled in qualifying, getting the most out of the Cooper tires right when they got to their sweet spot. That's something that he was going to learn. Of course, we go to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and he is fast out of the gate. Couple of mistakes. Actually, one mistake, got taken out in race 1, a mistake in race 2, clears that out, wins race number 3. So did we have an indication of how good he would be when he got here to Indianapolis Raceway Park? Maybe not so much an indication, but it probably shouldn't come as such of a massive surprise. Exclusive Autosport has won here many times. They've won here in USF 2000 with Parker Thompson. They've won here in Indy Pro 2000 as well with Daniel Frost. They've had success here at Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park. What a run so far, 2.4 seconds, the lead here for Louis Foster. Across the line once again to put lap number 83 in the book. 7 more to go for Foster. This would give him a strong lead in the points. Big for the team as well, as Exclusive Autosport will be moving their shop and breaking ground in a new facility here in Brownsburg. This will be the home for Exclusive Autosport, who has teams in the F1600 Championship Series, USF 2000, and Indy Pro. They have an Indy Lights car in the shop. Anybody who wants to go Indy Lights racing, there's a car in the shop ready to go. Join Indy Lights. They were lined up to go racing Indy Lights this year. The driver all lined up as well, but funding just didn't come through as expected. But Michael and Kimberly Duncalf have done a tremendous job with this program. Team champions last year in Indy Pro 2000, as I had said. 5 laps to go. Louis Foster leading by 2.8 seconds over Reese Gold. Josh Green runs in 3rd. Anam Ahmed 4th. Nolan Siegel 5th. Final driver in the lead lap, Jordan Missig. A tremendous run for Missig. Kiko Porto 7th. Salvador de Alba 8th. Jack William Miller 9th. Jonathan Brown in 10th. Braden Eves 11th. Yuban Sundaramurthy runs 12th. He's 4 laps back. Wyatt Prokacek 6 laps back. And Colin Kaminsky and Charles Finelli both out of the race. 4 laps to go for Louis Foster. This is when you just want to keep focused. And this, to be honest, folks, we haven't talked about fitness at all. This is a tough race car to drive, and this is a hard track. These drivers, at the end of this 90 laps, are going to be beat. And this is when all that work you do in the gym, all those push-ups, all that cardio, all that hardcore workouts that you do on your neck, on your upper body, allows you to stay focused. It doesn't just hold on to your duration and allow you to have that stamina to get through to the end, but the stamina is what allows your focus, your mental focus, to stay sharp. That's what separates making a mistake in the last couple laps and bringing it home. White flag, I believe, going to fly from Aaron Likens this time by. Can Louis Foster win 2 in a row? 1 at Indy and dominate the month of May. Foster through 1 and 2 in the Copart exclusive Autosport number 90. Down the back straightaway. No one close. 1.1 second to lead over Reese Gold. He's out of 3. He's out of 4. Keeping it down to the bottom. And the winner in Indy Pro 2000, the Freedom 90, is Louis Foster. Double checkers from Aaron Likens, and Foster has won at Lucas Oil, Indianapolis Raceway Park. 1.4 second to lead over Reese Gold. The exclusive Autosport crew rejoicing on pit lane. Josh Green finishing in 3rd. 3 different teams on the podium, exclusive Autosport, Juncos Hollinger Racing, and Turn 3 Motorsport. What a great race. Louis Foster, midway through that run, lap 45 to lap 55, passed both Junco Hollinger's cars impressively, using that bottom line, able to use a pick on Colin Kaminsky to be able to get the job done. What a tremendous run. And there's the exclusive Autosport crew right there, folks, on screen. They are pumped. Look at that. That's the emotion. You guys see it in all the USAC events. You know what it means to the USAC drivers. Same here with the Road to Indy. These guys are so excited. And the work you put in, of course, to be able to win races like this, all the money that goes in, the time, the effort. It's a lot of money to run these cars and to campaign this program. And Louis Foster, who worked hard to learn these Cooper tires and how to manage them in qualifying. He is, as engineer John Hayes, really digging in on the data to kind of get an understanding of what he was able to do, and he is just kind of finding his groove right now. And I'll tell you, that makes things tough for the rest of the field. This guy is rolling. Foster with the win, Gold 2nd, Green 3rd, Ahmed 4th, and Nolan Siegel rounding out the top 5. He's coming out of the car, folks. He's traveled all the way from England to run this year, and you can see it. There's the sigh and the elation of the victory for Louis Foster. Crew rolling in. Foster will take a significant lead in the points with what has been a great run. Here's your rundown. Foster with the win, Gold 2nd, Reese finishing in that P2 spot for the 2nd straight year. Josh Green in 3rd, Anam Ahmed 4th, and Nolan Siegel 5th. There's John Hayes, as I said, the engineer, race with his race-winning driver. Siegel 5th, Jordan Missig, final driver in the lead lap. A tremendous run for Jordan Missig, the best of the Pabst Racing drivers today. Kiko Porto ends up in 7th. Salvador de Alba in 8th. Jack William Miller and Jonathan Brown rounding out the top 10. Braden Eves 11th. Yuvan Sundar Murthy 12th. Wyatt Prokachik 13th, and Colin Kaminsky and Charles Finelli rounding out the field. Both those drivers electing to park their cars. 11 laps for Finelli, 52 laps for Colin Kaminsky. And indeed, folks, we are ready to go down at Victory Lane. Let's get things underway. Presenting our trophies here today, the Senior VP for Anderson Interior Contracting, Steven Anderson, and he'll get started by presenting the 3rd place trophy to number 3, Josh Green. Josh Green finishing 3rd spot today, put a ton of pressure in the battle between he and Anam Ahmed. And again, Steven Anderson will present him with the trophy. Thank you, Steven. He'll handle all 3 of our presentations today. Again, a name to watch for sure, folks. Coming home in 2nd place today from Juncos Hollinger Racing. A round of applause for Reese Gold. Number 55, Reese Gold. 2 pole positions, couple 2nd place runs. He'll want to finish on the top of the podium here soon. Driver getting the victory, though. What a mid-race it was. 10 laps where he was able to go by everybody and go to the lead. 2nd straight win in the series. The Englishman for exclusive Autosport. A round of applause for your winner, Louis Foster. Big win for Foster, winning at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, then here at the iconic Indianapolis Raceway Park. Yeah, hands probably are a little sore. Tough racing, but you know what? That P1 trophy kind of gets those pains to subside a little bit. Again, Foster's going to take a pretty nice little point lead into Road America in 2 weeks. But again, Louis Foster, Reese Gold, and Josh Green on the podium today. The champagne, of course, will fly here momentarily. And that will conclude what has been a tremendous couple of races. And again, can't say enough about our young drivers on the road to Indy and the respect that they show every time we come here to Indianapolis Raceway Park. Side-by-side racing, giving each other room. Again, no contact, no wrecks at all here today. Just that one brush of the wall that the AMR safety crew wanted to look at. Let her rip, boys. Champagne flying. Louis Foster, back-to-back wins. He's a victor at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and yeah, boys, celebrate it. He wins today here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Once again, your podium, Louis Foster with the win. Reese Gold in second, Josh Green in third. A tremendous race in the Cooper Tires Indy Pro 2000 Freedom 90. Folks, thank you so much. Those of you tuning into the Road to Indy TV app or on our YouTube channel, we do appreciate it. Big thank you to everybody from Anderson Promotions, Cooper Tires, and the Road to Indy, and of course everybody here at Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park as well. We're back racing again in 2 weeks at Road America, the iconic track in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. If you want to follow more of the action, make sure you download the Road to Indy TV app. Everything we do, live timing, live video, all season long to follow the future stars of the NTT IndyCar Series. It's been great to be here at IRP once again. Thank you so much, folks, for allowing us to be part of the Carb Night Classic. My name's Rob Howden. Bye for now.